So this is going to be a little different. I did record reading chapter 41, which is where we were starting today in the Apostolic Bible Polyglot. But the wording was so weird. Ishmael goes and kills Gedaliah is the main theme. It's unclear what Ishmael's motive was, why he was doing any of it, and exactly what was happening. So I've chosen to start a new video instead and read it out of the expanded so it's a little more clear what is going on. So hopefully this will show up on screen well. So, in the 7th month, Ishmael, son of Nethaniah, and 10 of his men came to Gedaliah, son of Ahikam, at Mizpah. Nethaniah was the son of Elishama. Now Ishmael was a member of the king's family, royal family, and had been one of the officers of the king of Judah. While they were eating a meal with Gedaliah at Mizpah, Ishmael and his 10 men got up and killed Gedaliah, son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, with a sword. Gedaliah was the man the king of Babylon had chosen as governor over Judah. Ishmael also killed all the Judeans and the Babylonian soldiers who were there with Gedaliah at Mizpah. The day after Gedaliah was murdered, before anyone knew about it, 80 men came to Mizpah, bringing grain offerings and incense to the temple of the Lord. Those men from Shechem, Shiloh, and Samaria had shaved off their beards, torn their clothes, and cut themselves. Ishmael, son of Nethaniah, went out from Mizpah to meet them, crying as he walked. When he met them, he said, "Come with me to meet Gedaliah, son of Ahikam." So they went into Mizpah. Then Ishmael, son of Nethaniah, and his men slaughtered 70 of them, and threw the bodies into a deep well. But the 10 men who were left alive said to Ishmael, "Don't kill us. We have stores of wheat and barley and oil and honey that we have hidden in a field." So Ishmael let them live and did not kill them with the others. Now the well, a cistern or a pit, where he had thrown all the bodies, had been made by King Asa as a part of his defenses against Baasha, king of Israel. But Ishmael, son of Nethaniah, put dead bodies in it until it was full. That's a lot of dead bodies. Ishmael captured all the other people in Mizpah, the king's daughters, and all the other people who were left there. They were the ones whom Nebuzaradan, commander of the guard, had chosen Gedaliah, son of Ahikam, to take care of. So Ishmael, son of Nethaniah, captured those people, and he started to cross over to the country of the Ammonites. Johanan, son of Kareah, and all his army officers with him heard about all the evil things Ishmael, son of Nethaniah, had done. So they took their men and went to fight Ishmael, son of Nethaniah, and caught him near the big pool of water at Gibeon. When the captives Ishmael had taken saw Johanan and the army officers, they were glad. So all the people Ishmael had taken captive from Mizpah turned around and ran to Johanan, son of Kareah. But Ishmael, son of Nethaniah, and 8 of his men escaped from Johanan and ran away to the Ammonites. So Johanan, son of Kareah, and all his army officers saved the captives that Ishmael, son of Nethaniah, had taken from Mizpah after he murdered Gedaliah, son of Ahikam. Among those left alive were soldiers, women, children, and palace officers. And Jonathan brought them back from the town of Gibeon. Johanan brought them back from the town of Gibeon. The escape to Egypt. Johanan and the other army officers were afraid of the Babylonians, since the king of Babylon had chosen Gedaliah, son of Ahikam, to be governor of Judah, but Ishmael, son of Nethaniah, had murdered him. Johanan was afraid that the Babylonians would be angry, so they decided to run away to Egypt. On the way, they stayed at Geruth Kimham, near the town of Bethlehem. Okay, now we're going to attempt to resume chapter 42 in the Apostolic Bible Polyglot. Jeremiah's message to Johanan. And all the leaders of the force went forward, and Johanan son of Kareah, and Jezaniah son of Hoshaiah, and all the people from small and unto great. And they said to Jeremiah the prophet, Let there fall now our need for mercy in front of you, and pray to the Lord your God. Concerning the rest of these, for we are left few from many, as your eyes see. And let the Lord your God announce to us the way in which we shall go by it, and the word which we shall do. Jeremiah the prophet said to them, I heard, behold, I will pray to the Lord our God according to your words, and it will be the word which the Lord shall answer. I will announce to you, in no way shall I hide from you a word. And they said to Jeremiah, Let the Lord be to us for a just and trustworthy witness, for according to every word whichever the Lord should send you, the Lord your God should send you, to us thus we should do. And whether if good or if bad be the voice of the Lord our God, of whom we send you to him, and we shall hearken that it should be better to us, for we shall hearken to the voice of the Lord our God. And it came to pass, after 10 days, the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah. So keep in mind, the people who are coming to Jeremiah is Johanan and all of his guys, who had just run away from the Babylonians in fear that they would be mad over Gedaliah. So that's who's doing this. Verse 8, And he called Johanan, son of Kareah, and the leaders of the force, and all the people from small and unto great. Jeremiah reassures the remnant. And he said to them, Thus said the Lord, the God of Israel, of whom you sent me to him, that your supplication should fall before him. If staying you should stay in this land, then I will build you, and in no way shall I demolish. And I will plant you, and in no way pluck. For I have caused rest over the hurts which I did to you. You should not be fearful from the face of the king of Babylon, whom you fear from his face. You should not be fearful, says the Lord, for I am with you, to rescue you and to deliver you from out of his hand. And I will grant to you an act of kindness, and will show mercy on you, and will return you unto your land. And if you say to yourselves, In no way should we stay in this land, so as to not hearken to the voice of the Lord your God, saying, Far be it, for we shall enter into the land of Egypt. And in no way should we know war, and in no way should we hear the sound of a trumpet. See, it's cowardice. In no way should we know war. They're afraid to stand up and fight for the right things of God. That makes them cowards. And being a coward is a sin. And God detests cowards. So, let's see. In no way shall we hear the sound of a trumpet, and in no way should we hunger in breads, and we shall live there. Well, see, God just said he would establish you and take care of you, so why would you believe that you would hunger for anything, or have want of anything, when God just said he would take care of you? It's faithlessness. On account of this, hear the word of the Lord, O remnant of Judah. Thus said the Lord of the forces, the God of Israel. If you should put your face unto Egypt, and should enter in there to dwell, then it shall be the broadsword which you shall fear from its face. It shall find you in Egypt, and the famine of which you have a reckoning from in front of it. It shall overtake you in Egypt, and there you shall die. And shall be all the men putting their face to enter into the land of Egypt to dwell there. They shall fail by the broadsword, and by the famine, and pestilence. And there will not be for them any one delivering from the evils which I bring upon them. For thus said the Lord of the forces, the God of Israel, as my rage dripped upon the ones inhabiting Jerusalem, so shall my rage drip upon you on your entering into Egypt. And you shall be for an untrodden land, and under one's hands, and for a curse, and for scorning. And in no way should you behold any longer this place, which the Lord spoke against you. Of the ones remaining of Judah, you should not enter into Egypt. And now in knowing, you shall know that I witness to you today, that you did wickedly in your souls, sending me to the Lord your God, saying, Pray concerning us to the Lord, and according to all whatever the Lord our God should say to you, thus you tell to us, and we will act. And I announced to you, and you hearkened not to the voice of the Lord your God, according to all which he sent to you. Well, so it sounds like, so he just got done telling him everything God said. And then either Jeremiah foreknew that they weren't going to do any of it and were going to disobey, or some time had passed and saw them demonstrate that they were not going to listen. And either way, now Jeremiah is calling them out on it. And according to all whatever the Lord our God should say to you, thus you tell to us, and he will act. And I announce to you, and you hearken not to the voice of the Lord your God, according to all which he sent to you. And now by the broadsword, and by famine, and by pestilence, you shall end in the place in which you wanted to enter. Okay. Now, to dwell there. Now we are on chapter 43. The people reject Jeremiah's words. Still, it's like after everything that they've seen happen to them, they still will not listen. Because there is no free will. And a diseased tree cannot grow good fruit, and a good tree cannot grow diseased fruit. You can't change what you are, and these are, according to Romans 9, they're vessels fitted for destruction, so it's impossible for them to ever turn around from their evil ways. Verse 1, And it came to pass, as Jeremiah ceased speaking to the people all the words of the Lord their God, which the Lord their God sent to them, even all these words that Azariah son of Hoshaiah said, and Johanan son of Kareah, and all the proud men speaking to Jeremiah, You speak lies. The Lord our God sent you not to us to say you should not enter into Egypt to live in there. So they're calling Jeremiah a liar. But Baruch son of Neriah unites with you against us, that you should give us into the hands of the Chaldeans to put us to death. So they're claiming he's trying to trick them into falling into the hands of the Chaldeans, and to resettle us in Babylon. And Johanan, son of Kareah, and all the leaders of the force, and all the people hearkened not to the voice of the Lord to dwell in the land of Judah. So there was a foreshadowing that they were going to do this, but even before this chapter and the last, because in 41, they ran away like cowards. And that's a good sign that you're an evil person. Evil people are cowards. Only the righteous are without a spirit of fear, because God does not give a spirit of fear. So the logic would assume that only the righteous are brave. This shows to be true. Okay, verse 5, And Johanan took, and all the leaders of the force, the whole of the rest of Judah, of the ones returning from out of all of the nations, which they were scattered there, to dwell in the land of Judah, of the mighty men, and the women, and the infants remaining, and the daughters of the king, and the souls which Nebuzaradan the chief guard left behind, with Gedaliah son of Ahikam, and Jeremiah the prophet, and Baruch son of Neriah, and entered into Egypt. For they hearkened not to the voice of the Lord, and they entered into Tahpanhes, And came to pass the word of the Lord to Jeremiah in Tahpanhes, saying, Take to yourself great stones, and hide them in the thresholds, in the gate of the residence of Pharaoh in Tahpanhes, in front of the eyes of the men of Judah. So he's going to take some big stones and hide them, maybe bury them in and around the gate of Pharaoh, in front of the eyes of the men of Judah. And you shall say, Thus said the Lord of the forces, the God of Israel, Behold, I send for, and I will bring Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, my bondman, and he shall put his throne upon these stones which you hid. And he shall lift the shields upon them, and he shall enter and shall strike the land of Egypt, whom for death unto death, and whom for resettlement unto resettlement, and whom for broadsword unto broadsword. Now when it says, and whom for unto, that means, and who it has been appointed, like who God has forechosen a fate for. So remember, you don't control your own life. God controls the plan of your life. For the days of a man are numbered before he even has one. So says the Bible. Here we see it lived out. For whom for death, see, they were appointed death, they died. And whom for who was appointed resettlement, they were resettled. And for whom God appointed to die in war by the broadsword, unto broadsword they went. And he shall kindle a fire in the houses of their gods, and shall set them on fire. And he shall resettle them, and shall fumigate the land of Egypt, fumigate the land of Egypt, as the shepherd fumigates his garment, and shall go forth in peace. And he shall break the columns of Heliopolis in Egypt, in the houses of the gods of Egypt he shall incinerate by fire. There's all the evidence that this is literal. He's literally going to set these houses of false gods on fire, burn it all, because it's disgusting to the Lord. And let's see, 41, 2, 3. That's 3 chapters for today. Tomorrow we will start chapter 44, the word against the Israelites in Egypt. Not saying that word because that doesn't belong there. Okay, see you tomorrow.